Started today at 3 o'clock on October 14th. I call this meeting to order. Councilman Stoker, will you give us the invocation?
All right.
You stand? If you're able.
Stand. All right. Bow your head. Heavenly Father, we come before you today at this meeting to ask your guidance and counsel as we make decisions that have been brought to us. Please be with the breast cancer survivors as we recognize Breast Cancer Month and continue to pray for a cure. Please be with our first responders, and please be with us as we hear many different matters and make many different decisions. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, where's Cameron? There he is. All right, we go to agenda item number 3, update on the Permian Basin MPO. Cameron Walker, there you are. Yeah, timing's impeccable.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor and council members. Good to see you. Good afternoon, everybody. I am here with a very pleasant message for you. Honestly, a very pleasant message for all of us. And I'm going to start with the top, and then we'll come down from there.
Is that microphone?
You have
I'm sorry. Is microphone on?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't tell.
I can't tell. I can't. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
I am bringing some compliments to two of your wonderful staff people. Joe Tucker is one and Rhett Butler is the other. And let me tell you what it's all about. It's about something called the Texas Innovation Alliance. It falls under TxDOT's greater umbrella of multiple duties and things that they get themselves into. But what they have turned it into in the past 3 years is a competition. Something innovative that can be brought to their attention that is tied in some form or fashion to the transportation world. We put together a team, and I'm going to call them the Brain Trust. 2 names have already been, those are your people. 3 from Ector County, 2 from Midland County, 4 from the city of Midland. We also had input from the Permian Strategic Partnership. Many of you know Deborah Richmond. And Ellen Ramsey, who was then the chair of the Permian Road Safety Coalition. We had a brain trust of about 11 people. We met about 6 different times to come up with this idea. And now I'll transform into the idea and tell you what that is, because it's really cool in and of itself. It's the idea that we can all do a better job at managing the #1 connectivity corridor between Midland and Odessa, and that is State Highway 191. You over here, it's 42nd, of course, it's Andrews Highway over on the Midland side. But what we did was we put together a program that would show how these 2 communities would benefit from the use of artificial intelligence within the traffic signal system. Now I'm out of my wheelhouse on this one. But the idea is that we can transform that corridor into being more safe and have less congestion on it through hands-off artificial intelligent methodologies. The cool thing about it, the culmination of it, is there were 3 finalists, and about 2 months after that was declared, that was in the month of July, we were informed that we were the winners of it, the recipients of it. It's $156,000. And I understand now that your attorney and the Midland attorneys are talking about, the best way to utilize that money, working with people like Joe, and on the Midland side, Jose Ortiz and others but the bottom line I know for sure is that there's 5 traffic signals in each community that are being fully funded for AI under this $156,000 plus. And so if you take that TxDOT program aside and say that this is great, and I would completely agree, it is great. Congratulations to those of your staff who helped win it. But I'd also say congratulations to you, because I have learned that you have put into your budget enough funding to cover approximately 150 traffic signals within the community to also begin to use artificial intelligence and whatever form that means to improve people's safety and the movement of goods and people. So those 2 names I mentioned were very strong members of our team. We're proud to have participated with them, and we're a facilitator. The brains behind it were the other 10 people that whose partially names I've mentioned to you. So I'll take any questions if there are any, but it's a win-win. And on the cooperative effort was phenomenal, and I saw it from the beginning up to the receipt of that $156,000. It's a great story.
Well, excellent. Thank you.
So
Let's
Mayor,
give Joe and his staff a big hand.
definitely. Mayor, that's all I've got. If there are no questions, I'll disappear into the back.
Cameron, I do have one question.
Yes.
I got an email the other day from Motran, from Jim,
Uh-huh.
about this off-network, off-system road availability of funds. But
Yes.
he has not responded to me. Can you? I was going to wait till the next.
Do you want me to
MPO.
give you the sort of 30,000 foot?
If you
of
don't
that?
mind, because I think it's very important, because we've got some roads that fit that description.
Absolutely. If I'm correct, what you're referring to is a House bill, and I don't remember if it was a Senate bill or a House bill, but it was passed this year and has some funding attached to it.
Right.
And it is specifically for grade separation projects, overpasses, and they can be off system. In fact, they cannot be on system, because if it's on system, it's already in the loop somewhere, either with TxDOT or with us as the MPO. It's in our portfolio somewhere. So it has to be off system, but if there are grade separation locations that you can think of or are worth looking at, get the word to Joe. We'll bring it to our advisory committee, and we'll get the wheels in motion.
Yeah, of course, I was thinking about Yukon, which is what I'm always talking to you about, but
Mm-hmm.
that looks like that's a perfect road for that, but I couldn't get Jim to answer my
I think it's for grade separations only, but I
cross
will,
railroad tracks and so forth.
right. But I will do some more research and get back to you on that.
Yeah.
What about the Faudree Road overpass? Is it going over the railroad tracks too? Is that something?
Well, that's on
That-
system,
that-
that's
that's-
on system, because that part of
yes.
Faudree
DOT.
from 191 to 80 is TxDOT's. And then from 191 to Parks Bell's ours. So it's,
Yes, and that project you just mentioned, council member, is already in our 10-year
yeah,
list,
it's
and it
already
is
there.
partially funded. It'll take some more funding. It's one of the more expensive ones because you got to go over the railroad track and Business 20.
but it is in the queue, so, yeah.
Good.
I just thought maybe you might know more about it, but the
I-
key word there's grade separation.
Yes,
I guess.
let me do some more research, and I'll get back to you, sir.
It just looked like it might be an opportunity, I don't know.
Yes,
Any other questions, gentlemen? Not, Cameron, appreciate it.
thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cameron.
All right, Dave Boutin, discuss, agenda item 4, discuss ODC and ICA performance agreement amendment, additional road construction.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. If you remember, or I think some of you probably remember, that the Odessa Development Corporation Board approved a performance agreement back in June of 2024 with ICA Development. Purpose of this grant that we approved of approximately $4.4 million was to, in large part, to complete a loop road through 150-acre development that ICA will ultimately develop. There's some additional sewers, some drainage issues that are included in that $4.4 million. And the reason that we believed that was an appropriate grant to make is that 150-acre development is got commercial, industrial, workforce, housing. Additionally, there's some related retail areas. We don't typically work with retail areas at all, don't fund grants in that regard. But the 150-acre development is what we were interested in. And with regard to the road construction, there's a loop road. Basically, this was intended to fund about 10% of that. ICA had already spent the money to build part of the road and intended to spend the money to pay the rest of it. So we thought it was a great use of our economic development funds to facilitate this development. ICA came back to us a couple of months ago indicating that they'd run into some cost overruns. The cost overruns were basically lowering a CRMWD line that they thought was going to be, that turned out to be more expensive, the lowering of a Sinclair line, some additional engineering costs, road construction, the TxDOT drainage ditch, and sewer line actually came in a little bit under. There were some unforeseen costs that kind of offset that. When the board evaluated this, we looked at it and said, well, the part that really fits are the unforeseen costs or the cost escalations in the road construction cost. Some of that was the City of Odessa specs, which added some sidewalk work that needed to be done. Additionally, Kinder Morgan basically said, we're going to be utilizing this road. You know, they're right next door, and the beefing up the specs on the road to accommodate their heavy truck traffic made some sense. So that part of this, they came to us with about $1.5 million of increased cost. The board evaluated it and said, you know, we're interested in the road construction. That's about $764,000. That's what this amendment does, is it allows the agreement to increase from $4.4 million to about $5.1 million. And the way this works is, as ICA has the work done, they pay for it, they submit invoices, we reimburse them.
Where is this located?
Pardon me?
Where is this located?
It's located just north of Bass Pro. That road also serves as a backer road, runs east and west, and actually runs right towards Kinder Morgan to the east.
Okay. Any
I'm
questions, gentlemen?
happy to answer any questions.
No, we just need to put it on the agenda and approve it.
Well, yes,
Okay, because
Next meeting.
We do.
workshops was just kind of information only.
yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, Dave. We appreciate
you
it.
bet.
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
All right, agenda item number 5, present city financials. Kayla.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. So last week I was able to send out the financials. I hope you got them. And I'd just like to address that right off the bat. I know there are 2 formats. I'm going to fix that. We had limited time and it was a lot of data. So please know I will make them more streamlined than they are. Sorry for that confusion. I knew that would be one of the first things. So you have the August 25 financials for general fund, water, sewer, solid waste. I'm going to go over each of them. I'm going to try not to drag it out, but stop me if you have any questions. I'll be glad to answer any of them. I'm going to start with general fund.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Do you remember the last time we did a financial?
before I was here,
Right. You know exactly when?
I do not know, sir.
We appreciate financials
Yes, sir.
very much. Thank you.
And thank you for saying that. And this goes to show how well the finance department is coming along. We have really made some good changes. We're doing really well. So thank you for saying that. Thank you. Okay, so the overall revenue and expenditures are on track for the year. You can see that we're at 92% of the year, and our revenues are exceeding. We're at 108%. When you look at our revenues, you'll see our major sources, as we know, are property tax and sales tax. Property tax is pretty much collected for the year. You'll see that we came in above what we anticipated. This is due to conservative budgeting. We don't assume we're going to collect 100% of the property tax. So that's why you'll see a variance there. On the sales tax, this budget that you're seeing was the original budget that matches the proposed book. When Mr. Warren came here, he did increase our sales tax budget. It's not reflected in here because I wanted to give you something to compare to that was published online. So, but we still are on track, and Mr. Morton was right. We're going to reach what he said we were going to. So that's looking really good. Now, there's a lot of revenues on here, so I've picked a few that probably might look confusing for your first time seeing these. If I miss any, please let me know. But the first one that threw me off was the Ector County Jail. So I dug into this a little bit, and what this line actually is this is a revenue, pretty much, it's for the fire department services. We have an interlocal agreement with Ector County that stems back, oh gosh, I want to say 2007, maybe
Six.
before 2006. It's very old. At the time, Ector County agreed to pay $777,000 a year for the fire services. However, we also turned around and paid them $402,000 a year for using the jail services. So what happens at the end of the year, we just do a true up entry. So that's what you'll see there. The next one that looks really weird is the Ector County crossing guards. So a few years back, Mr. Thompson probably remembers better than I do, but it's been a little while. We started contracting with ECISD,
Right.
where we are going to pay some contract crossing guards. Chief Gerke and Matt Davidson said this is a great program. They're responsible for having our crossing guards out here. We divvy up at every so many years on who pays what. So what you're seeing in this line, I don't know why it was listed as a revenue, because I don't understand that. I'm looking into it. It doesn't make sense just to my practical accounting mind, because really this is an expense. We pay a portion of Ector County crossing guards, and then Ector County pays us a portion, ECISD pays us a portion as well. So I believe this is going to be moved off the revenue budget in the future. Doesn't make sense to me, but I'm going to research it because I assume things were done for a reason. Doesn't make sense to me right now. The next one you'll see is the EMS ambulance supplement. This will be another true-up entry. We received funds from the Human Health and Sciences Center, and so we received those pretty much after the year's over. This is about what we anticipate. You'll see a true-up there for that one as well. The other line item are demolition reimbursements, which we may or may not get, and then we get an administrative fee for hotel motel taxes, and that's again a year-end true-up. So those are the high points that I saw in the revenue. Were there any other questions on that one?
I do have one.
Yes, sir.
You had the revenue coming in exchange from the county jails.
Yes.
So, we're gonna have to really look at that, and the judge knows about that just as well, but with the ESDs, or the emergency service districts, that's all lined up, so we have a whole new flow of money coming in.
Right.
So that's old.
If I understood correctly, I did reach out to Chief Cotton, and I'm not trying to quote him on this because I may have gotten something wrong. This would still probably affect the areas that are not in the emergency service district.
That's correct.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there probably
Okay.
is some truing up there we need to
Okay,
do.
there is a
Everything
s-
outside the
yeah.
ETJ.
Yeah.
still gonna
ETJ,
be-
that's the word.
Small area, but
Yeah, but you're right. Yes, sir. Anything else?
I have another quick question.
Yes, sir.
On each one of them, they've got a category of other.
Yes.
Could you maybe give some examples of what would
Sure.
be in the other?
So on the general sales, the other is, thank goodness for glasses, is taxi franchise, bingo franchise, mixed beverage franchise. So that's what that other is. In the licenses and permits, I did not make notes on that one. It was very insignificant. I didn't make notes, but I can get you that answer. I think I answered on the intergovernmental. In the miscellaneous, that is like teen court, if we have some property sales, things like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. But I'll get you what the other is on that other one. Okay, on to expenditures. We are at 77% total of our budget. Now, please keep in mind, we still have 4 payrolls, and government has a tendency to save some purchases for September. So keep that in mind when we're looking at this. However, I just ran some rough figures. Like I said, 4 more payrolls. I did all those projections, and I anticipate, if my estimates are correct, we're still going to be about $9 million below budget. And please, again, keep in mind, this budget has increased, the actual budget, and I will have you all of those closer to year end. But we're doing very good on our budget. A lot of that comes from not necessarily a good source, not being able to staff some of our positions. That's where a lot of that comes from. But we're still running below budget. One of the things that shocked me at first, and it shouldn't have because I know what it is, but it still stood out to me, so I'm sure it does to you. On the capital outlay, you would anticipate seeing a large amount in capital outlay. We move capital outlay projects, especially the ones that are going to take more than a year, like the roads, things like that, into a capital funds project. One of the things we're doing in finance to help streamline us and get us better reporting as we're getting a project accountant who will start keeping track of these. Joe Tucker's team does a great job, but we need a financial opponent to it too. So that one looked weird to me. So you'll notice I did a quick little summary of what the fund balance will be at the end of the year. So as of August, the available fund balance is approximately 75 million. I did a few more rough calculations and estimate that at the end of fiscal year 25, our anticipated, oh, did you give me the clicker?
You should.
I apologize,
Switch
thank you.
screens, yeah.
You sure did. And are gonna, after my estimates that I spoke about earlier, anticipate our ending fund balance of available fund balance to be 58 million. Whenever we did the budget books for y'all, we told you 61 million. So we're trending pretty good on that. That's a quick overview of general funds. I'm not trying to rush you through it, but I didn't want to keep you too long. Do you have any questions on that? All right. If not, I'll move on
Question
to,
and
I'm sorry.
personnel, but I don't know if it's a her question.
Yes, sir, I can try.
You know, I look at this and you've got part-time wages that we paid 52,000 in part-time wages, but we paid $7 million in overtime.
So that's a good question, and that one's a little bit harder to answer, but I'll give it a best shot. We don't budget fully for part-time. Whenever we look at personnel, we look at personnel as a group because we never know how we're gonna end up funding those, so there's that. A lot of the overtime, and this is one thing, I'm glad you said this, I failed to mention this earlier, you'll see it on the revenues. One of those overtimes, the biggest amount of overtime we have, of course, is fire, police, things like that. So that's what you're seeing. As far as how to budget overtime, that is extremely difficult. So I don't know that we're ever gonna hit that mark. Most of our part-time is in like parks, animal shelter, I would say, things like that. Did I answer your question?
Yes, it seems to me we could use more part-time people.
So that's also a good point. John Rogers was talking to us about that the other day. And when we sat down with city management and we were talking about bringing out the Gallagher study, we have looked at raising part-time wages so we can attract more part-time people where we're needed. Right now, you'll see some of that in contract labor because we're using contract services, which is sometimes the right thing to do, but
Yeah.
not always. So yes, oh, and what I was gonna say, that on the front page on the revenue, you'll see one that says, ARPA salary reimbursement.
Mhm.
That 2.3 million is gonna offset some of that $7 million in overtime.
There's still ARPA money left? I thought it was all used.
No, it's really not. There's some, I say there's none left. We had to send it to the government and say, this is what we're doing with it, locked in stone. We can't do anything else with it. That's we're pretty much done with it though.
Designated, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have to spend it, what, for 2025, 26, or end of 24?
We had to say how we were gonna spend it by the end of 24. Yes, sir. 20, spend it by 20, yes.
Okay. End of 26.
Yes. But we're on track, as you can see from our overtime. That should be spent.
And I think my second question,
Yes.
again, may not, kind of off, but when you look at the budget and maintenance, why are we $15 million off?
No, that's a good question. So a lot of times, when it comes to end of the year, a lot of times whenever we're looking at those capital projects and maintenance projects, it gets very skewed between what is maintenance and what becomes a capital project. A lot of the times whenever we're looking at capital projects for maintenance, like supplementals is a good way to put it, we sometimes put those in capital because the definition of capital when it comes to maintenance is if it extends the life, if it changes for a different purpose, if it significantly changes, yeah, those things. So sometimes we don't know when we're looking at the budget. So that's what that is. You'll see a big true up on that.
Yeah, because you look at infrastructure and it's, you know,
And that
about
is
$13 million off.
You're
So
correct.
did we not spend it? Do we not?
So on the infrastructure, most likely what happened was it was budgeted out of non-capital, and I've since moved it to capital. But I will verify that.
Okay.
But that's a good question, and it could just be projects are waiting to come in and they're encumbered as well. But I will get you that answer.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, on water and sewer, there wasn't really anything major that stood out until I talked to Alex today. I went over this with Alex, and he was saying that he shouldn't have been over budget on his expenditures in water distribution. So we started digging into that, and I found that
Change some
our
screens.
water valves and leases, oh, sorry,
The next page.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at multitasking. So there you'll see that negative 18 million there. Alex and I got to looking at that, and we have miscoded somehow some of our valves and meter leases. So I need to get that moved out of there, and it's most likely in capital or debt. I need to look and see where it should be. I will get that figured out. But what that does is that brings, it's my notes, so I don't trust my memory. That brings Alex down to just being, he'll be under budget by approximately $5 million this year in all of his area. So his fund balance is gonna look even better. We're anticipating his fund balance to be 14.9 million. It'll most likely be even better. His increase, not his balance, I'm sorry. His increase in fund balance will be better. You will notice that Pioneer revenue is a little short. That's because we do accruals on those. We bill them in arrears. And so we will have some accruals to put in there.
I know we're having an issue with that. Have you gotten that straightened out?
So we did have an issue with that. We have done where we have looked at what we may have short billed them. I've come up with a number that I feel is accurate, and we've passed it on to legal to let them look at it. That's the best answer I have for right now. I don't have a further answer. It's been identified, and I've got
Mayor, if I
other
could,
auditors that know what to do about
I
it.
reached out to Lane Rouse, attorney in town. He's reached out to Mr. Vela. David, I think y'all are we're gonna,
We're working on.
yeah, we're gonna
We have a
meet,
meeting with them
yeah,
Friday.
yeah. We're gonna meet
That's
Friday and start working on it.
Okay. So we haven't got, I mean, I'm just curious. We had no clue. I mean, it goes back how many years?
So it started going back in 2001. Am I remembering that right? Last audit, whenever I was sitting down looking at contracts, and I kind of discovered it, Alex and I talked, the auditor and I talked, and that's when we realized we had a problem. And so we've been trying to find the right answer. So, yeah.
So you rely on solid or
Utilities,
utilities to
yes.
to
So
build it, to build that?
that's the way the city's finance department has been structured since before me, and I don't like it. It's already something that, as a matter of fact, utilities and I talked about today. I need to bring that over. Everybody who does invoicing either does it through BNC, which is a good place to do it, but sometimes you can't do it through BNC. Those departments do it on their own. I don't like that. I don't feel like that's a good internal control. I don't know why it was set up that way, but we are fixing that. That is definitely something on our radar.
Yeah, I don't like departments doing their own buildings. That doesn't make any sense to me
No, sir.
whatsoever.
It
And
doesn't.
of course, we ran into that in risk management,
Yes, sir.
and it's just the wrong place for it to be, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. There's a
Everything
lot
needs
of
to go
problems
through,
with that.
every dollar needs to go through finance, I think, Mayor.
I agree.
How
I agree.
the hell do we know what's going on?
I didn't.
And now we got ourselves in a wee willy switch, so.
So, and this problem predates utilities' current team, so I'm not trying to put any blame on them, but
I
we
understand.
were looking at that, and we just happened to kind of be looking at it at the same time because I started combing through contracts for the audit, and it was definitely an eye opener.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So water sewer looks good. I did include July in there just for a month over month in case you needed it. And then on solid waste, same situation. It's looking really good. We are about 102% of revenues at 92% of the year, so that's looking really good. Expenditures are about 81%. So we had anticipated a negative effect on the fund balance for this year, but no, sir.
You gotta
I think I need a helper. I will let you help me. Thank you. So we're looking really good on that. We were going to have a negative fund balance, and we're not. I'm anticipating it could be up to a $5 million increase in fund balance this year for solid waste. So he's done a great job keeping those expenses down. So that's all I have for this month's financials. Like I said, next month I promise it'll be in a similar format. I won't have you jumping all over the board. Is there any questions or anything you'd like me to add different for next time?
Okay, like it's hard to not have you here and not ask, and it's a sensitive topic, but audit for 2024.
No, thank you for
How
asking.
are we progressing?
We're doing very well. We had auditors in-house. We had 2 auditors in-house
Okay.
last week, and then we have 1 more in-house right now. Another one will be here tomorrow. I was on the phone today with, I've been searching for additional help because we're just struggling with finding help. There is such a shortage in accountants right now. It's
That's
all
fine.
across Texas. The new bill just made it worse. It's great times to be an accountant. So our auditor's been working with us, getting us contacts. Haven't got a chance to talk to Mr. Vale about this just yet, just happened today. Spoke with Cherry Beckert as a firm that does a lot of strictly municipalities, they don't do audit, they just do getting you ready for audit. We have a meeting with them tomorrow morning to find out what they can do to help us. The 24 audit's going well. We've been working long hours, getting it done. The auditor's been working right there with us. Everything's moving along. I will say that compared to last year's audit, we are leaps and bounds ahead of where we were. I do not anticipate November being a problem. I definitely don't anticipate the fiscal year 25 audit being late. It will be on time. We are doing so much better. This speaks to how much better we're doing.
This is a tool you can actually use.
Yes, you know how many things I found to research in this? My nerd brain was loving it.
Okay, we appreciate you. Any other questions, gentlemen?
All right.
Thank you very much
Thank
for this
y'all.
report and for our financials.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Council, did y'all feel that you got the information in time, the financials this month? Do you need it a little quicker?
In a perfect world, the longer you have to look at it, I mean, another Monday before the meeting, only because it's a lot to digest. And
Okay.
keeping notes to yourself, it was just a lot, you know. It was the first time we've seen it, so, but it was good stuff. But if we could have it a week before the meeting,
Week before the meeting?
yeah, I know you're trailing a month, always, every time, but
That is my goal. I have it, go to my calendar and now that I have the format made, it'll be so much easier.
okay, thank you.
We'll get it a week before the meeting then.
I appreciate it.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Let's go to agenda item number 6, discuss the award of a golf feasibility study. John Rogers.
Mayor, Council, good afternoon. We're discussing awarding the bid and approving the contract to THK Associates for conducting a comprehensive golf feasibility study. A few things to note. I think it's known that we do need an additional golf course in Odessa and in West Texas. This study is a little bit more comprehensive than just is there a need. This study will determine what that need is, give us data-driven decision-making, site infrastructure evaluation, operational planning, funding and partnership opportunities, risk identification, alignment with strategic goals, and public transparency and accountability throughout the process. The study is $68,280, and it is within our golf budget.
Okay, so you're not requesting additional money that's coming out of your budget?
Correct, yes. We're not requesting additional funds.
So, John, if I read that correctly, then they're gonna also evaluate the existing facility,
Correct, yes.
clubhouse, golf course, et cetera.
Absolutely. So we need this study done to find out where is the land, where can we build another golf course? How do we operate 2 courses with 1 facility? I do believe that we would need to operate both courses from the same facility to maximize our, the quality of life and be able to keep the course open every day and host as many and benefit tournaments as possible, and just maximize our revenue generation as well as that quality of life for Odessa.
That golf course is taking a terrible beating. We did 40,000 rounds last year.
40 plus, we pushed 50,000, and
Plus
that's a
50?
lot. Yes,
50,000
sir.
rounds.
And that's why the golf course is so beat up. It's just, that's a lot of folks on the golf course.
Absolutely,
So-
and we
Mr.
have
Boutin,
very
I'm sorry.
thankful for.
John, let me ask
Yes,
David
sir.
one question.
Sure.
Because he'll know the answer off the top of his head. Remember how many rounds Odessa Country Club does a year? Is it 26, 28?
It's, it used to be about 17 or 8,
Right.
18 per golf.
Per
Per
golf
course.
course. That's two golf,
When
yeah.
I served on that golf advisory committee, I think we were doing 42 or 44,000. It was more than twice what Odessa Country Club's 2 courses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's,
More than twice each, more than the 2 courses combined.
Yeah. So my only point with that is that just so people will understand how much traffic we have with all the closures
Yeah.
around both communities. I mean, we are, you know, again, that's another one of those quality of life issues. People like to play golf, and we don't have enough facilities. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
and I
it
was
does.
glad to hear you say the word partnership in there, because there may be some opportunities there.
Sure, we definitely explore all partnerships. We definitely welcome it. You know, if we can partner, we've got some great organizations, companies that are great people in Odessa. So anybody that we can work with, we're absolutely willing and would love to.
right.
John, how many courses in the area are you aware of that have closed recently?
So I'm aware of 3 in the immediate area that have closed. We are down to, in our area, 2 public golf courses that service hundreds of thousands of people.
Let's say between Odessa and Midland, in Ector County, Midland County, you're pushing
Correct.
500,000 people.
Yes, sir.
You have 2 public courses.
Correct. Yes, sir. And so the course in Midland, they're going through some renovation. They're gonna have 1 course shut down for indefinitely, I would imagine. So it's gonna put even more, stress and traffic on our course, so.
Is that Hogan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Hogan's. And there have been, just so I think that for the sake of people that are interested, we've been approached by multiple groups for doing some kind of partnership, so a public-private partnership would help alleviate cost and help it become more of a reality. And apparently there were some rumors there was gonna be other places where our goal, I guess what you just read to me, it'd be centered around the existing course. So one clubhouse could serve 2 courses.
Absolutely. I think for us to, first of all, increase the quality of life and to be able to service Odessa and keeping a golf course open and accessible every day of the week and host all the tournaments, because there's a huge demand in tournaments. We would need to service both courses from the same clubhouse, and it would definitely maximize our return on investment, and help us with being sustainable and generating revenue. We double the cost for equipment, staffing, if we have 2 facilities, so.
Perfect.
That's good.
Any questions?
I
Greg?
think we get the little ball situation.
So we received a little over 2,000 additional range balls recently, so, yes, sir.
Nice.
Hard to go practice when you golf balls.
Craig, do you have
I
a
would
question? Good question?
No, I'm sorry. John, did you have something?
I would like to note one thing. So we renovated the driving range recently. The most we had ever done in a 12-month period on the range was $120,000 in revenue. We did $150,000 in less than 6 months once we got it back open. So we're tremendous.
Well, I guess I should ask a question then, because there were some comments on Facebook need to be addressed, but does the course make Odessa money or does it lose Odessa money?
So in the past, I believe that they have never shown a profit over their operating budget. I'm very pleased to say that we have overcome that, and we're around $500,000 above our operating budget annually. And we expect to, our goal was $3 million in total revenue, and we got to 2.94. So we expect to get there this fiscal year.
Perfect.
And we had been subsidizing the golf course and tennis.
For 10 years.
That tells you how much money that lost.
Which is why the public-private is so much better model than city, I mean, just doing it ourselves. I think to make
Right.
it, a focus of this study is gonna be in part to determine, can we find those investors who are willing to invest and keep, Odessa may not be the best city to run it, maybe we are, maybe we're not, maybe there's a better group that's more knowledgeable, so everything's on the table. And I think that's the point of the study, not to determine if we need a course. We all can agree, I think, when you have people calling me saying they can't get a tea time for a month, that's ridiculous. So I mean,
I agree.
50,000 rounds a year, it's crazy, it's a lot. So
Yes,
I
sir.
think the need is there. The question is, how can we do it effectively? And I think Chris's statement is well taken, that we don't want to lose money, and we want to do it in such a way that it benefits the city and our people. So that's going to be the balancing test. How do we do it cost efficiently and then still give our citizens additional play?
Absolutely, 100%. And this study is about that data and giving us the opportunity to make educated decisions moving forward before we dedicate money and just jump into to building an additional facility.
The only reason I brought that up was because when everybody found that number, then we started working on the problem.
That's right.
Our problem is we need to quit waiting until it becomes a problem. We need to start doing stuff ahead of time.
I think that's one of the reasons I'm so proud of Kayla, because, I mean, to be transparent, everybody needs to see our financials. We need to see our financials. So that's a tool that we're going to use to be a better city, be more transparent, and let everybody know what the numbers are. It's not a secret. We should always have those available to the public.
John, is this something that Troon Golf would, or somebody like Troon Golf would be interested in doing, and partnering with? Do you know?
I would I would feel more comfortable after we saw the results before I directly made a comment towards that. In my personal experiences, I would definitely rather us manage, operate, or have a partner in town than bring in a golf corporation to run it. I feel like we would lose a lot of ownership in that, and I would like for us to make the decisions on how we serve Odessa.
Yeah, well, I know they run the Rawls course in Lubbock, so, and I'm not really sure that's been real successful. That's why the reason I was asking the question. So, because they have different kinds of money available, and that's for construction, I don't know.
Sure.
Just a
And
thought.
once we see the data, we'll definitely make that educated decision then, and everything is on the table. But right now, in just my experiences, I would prefer it to be here locally.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
John. Anybody else have any questions?
Good job.
I just had a
Great.
query, y'all kind of touched on it, but I was sent the report they did for Midland, and I enjoyed the scope that went out from golf. And so bringing up the clubhouse and those things that, they identified the benefit of having event space and that kind of stuff. So, but I think, Cal, you addressed the concern about the money, and so just all of it's coming out of the golf budget.
100%. We're not asking for any funds, and we in parks golf we try to always avoid asking. We try to stay within our means. We don't want to be a burden on the general fund, so it would be an emergency if we came asking for additional money.
Okay, thank you, John.
Very good.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
And John, just to be clear, the goal is another 18-hole course.
The goal is an additional 18-hole course. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, John, don't move very far. Agenda item number 7, discuss enhancing irrigation efficiency with Rainbird IQR.
Yes, sir. So we're discussing the purchase of the Rainbird IQ4 irrigation system. The system will provide real-time monitoring, remote access, and scheduling capabilities to ensure efficient water use, reduce waste, and support healthy turf and landscaping and maintenance in all of our green spaces. The cost is $58,393.58. Again, the funds are available within the parks budget, and this is a buy-board purchase. This is a huge purchase for our irrigation team. Currently, we are manual on our entire irrigation system, so we don't know that there's a busted sprinkler head. We don't know how much water we're putting out. until we get a phone call or we're at that park that day. Our irrigation crew is a team of 3. We do have other crews at the parks, but sometimes they miss it because they're not looking for irrigation. This will be equivalent to 10 to 15 other employees, a set of eyes out on in the park. So we really feel like this is a huge improvement in our irrigation.
Sounds good, John. Thank you. Anybody have any questions for John?
Just one.
Yes, sir.
What we were talking about earlier is, do the controllers use flow sensors and master valves to detect links?
Yes, sir. So this is it's a complete control system. It's a proactive irrigation management, controllers, sensors, and connectivity. We can be run cellular through Ethernet, Wi-Fi, or fiber optic. We will be cellular or Wi-Fi, but it is a complete control system.
Okay, excellent, excellent.
Yes, sir.
So are you gonna take the phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning if line bust, or the superintendent gonna do that?
Well, somebody will answer it.
So
Somebody.
I had
Thank
a
you.
question. Didn't we discuss something like this previously?
Well, in the budget retreat, I believe we talked about this purchase, and it's just now coming to council.
Okay.
This was one of our items that we budgeted for, and this will serve about 15 of our parks. There's one thing to speak to, and especially in irrigation. I know citywide our employment, we still have 100 or whatever positions open in parks. We were at a point that was critical in our staffing levels. This year we have got almost full. So in parks we are absolutely good. The hardest positions to fill have been the irrigation techs, just because we weren't competitive. We're addressing that now, so hopefully we can get some more in there, but we've got a crew of 3 that have been servicing the entire city. So definitely thank you for what we've done this year for staffing, and I think we're about to take care of the being competitive part now. So
I have one last quick question. You just brought up cellular or Wi-Fi.
yes, sir.
How are we getting Wi-Fi?
Something we would work with IT on getting, if we need hotspots or whatever the case may be, but we're going to try cellular data. If we have a bad signal, then we would do something like Wi-Fi.
Because I think it'd be great to have Wi-Fi in all the parks.
I would love it. I would love it.
All right, thank you, John. We appreciate your time.
Thanks,
Yes, sir.
John.
Let's go to agenda item number 8, update an upcoming waterline project. Alex.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. The Utilities Department would like to inform you on the next water line replacement project within our utility job order contract. The project limits are within District 4. That would be a picture of the project. It's north of 42nd Street in the alley of Locust Avenue. The existing water line is a 8-inch cast iron line back in 1956. The line has experienced over 10 line breaks dating back to 2007, with the majority occurring in the past 2 years. This replacement will be 2,300 linear feet of 8-inch PVC. We're also going to be beefing up some of our fire safety in the area. We're adding 2 new fire hydrants due to the original placement on that water line of fire hydrants. We're replacing an existing hydrant, and then we are also having 58 new water service connections for the residents in that area. We're also going to be replacing 8 new valves. I believe 3 on this line do not work.
I would say every 70 or so years, you ought to replace the line.
something like that, yes, sir.
Occasionally.
The estimated time for this project is 8 weeks to complete.
Great.
I assume those are alleys, or I can't really tell.
Yes, so if,
Those are all alleys.
how do I go
Okay.
back to the? there
Just
we go.
couldn't tell from looking at the picture.
So
Looked like-
this water line does run in the alley for them, yes. It's not in the road. And then this is our cost estimate sheet. We are expecting this to cost $565,890.04 with a 10% contingency in there, with a total estimate of $622,479.04. This is within our utility job order contract, so I'm just updating you. We've got the funds for this.
When will this go to bid?
We don't have to take it to bid.
We
It's
don't?
our, yes, sir. It's within our utility job order contract.
Just
Yes, sir.
good.
Any questions?
Jim, any questions?
I had a question, since we've been talking about remote control valves. You know, when you put these new valves in there, do you have to go out and turn them manually, or is there a way to?
So we have a valve truck that has a valve turner on it that we go and we do shutdowns with and things like that. We actually have it in the budget to get a second one. We're having, with so much growth in the city, we have to do shutdowns for growth.
Yeah.
Plus we have line breaks and certain things like that we need so we're gonna need a second one. Yes, sir. I would love to put a automatic valve on every single one, but then you would have to pay for solar on every valve, and you can't have that in every street, so. It would be nice. We do have them on our towers. We have incorporated them on our towers.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Alex. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Let's go to agenda item number 9. Discuss replacing 41 sets of firefighter protective gear for the city fire rescue. This is Chief Cody.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Odessa Fire Rescue is going to be requesting authorization to purchase 41 sets of bunker gear for a total cost of $160,503. This money will be coming out of our designated PPE account. So this purchase will be necessary to replace gear that is reaching or near its end of life and keep us in standards with NFPA 1851. Any questions?
What do we do with the old gear?
That
Do we give it
was
away?
my question.
Yes.
Yes.
What do we do
So
with it? I mean,
what we do now is if it's near its end of life, we reuse that for new hires until they get sized, and then the other gear goes into a shop that we have at Central until we can find somebody who needs it, who does not have to follow NFPA, because if you do follow NFPA, you can't use it if it's over 10 years old.
gotcha.
So like a volunteer fire department or whatever.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but a lot of ours around here follow NFPA, so there's not a lot we can give them to.
Okay. I just didn't know.
But yeah, once they hit
Seems
10
like
years,
about
they're
a lot
no
of
good to anybody.
I mean, in case I needed it for Halloween's coming up, I just wondered.
We've got a
Getting
bunch.
double XLs.
We got a bunch you can have. Come get them.
Other,
got a
other
thumbs up,
revenue
Chief Cotton.
lines.
Halloween's fire, Chief. Anybody have any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, let's go to agenda item number 10, discuss third-party collection vendors, billing and collection. I'm not sure who.
Well, I had asked about this because when my conversation when I went out to ECUD to look at their billing system, one of the things that Judge Hayes talked about was they had employed a third-party collection and set up that, you know, if your bill's over 60 days old or, you know, an arbitrary point, that instead of not collecting anything, they send it to a collection agency. And they had brought ECUD up to about 96% compliance on getting back bills paid. So I was just curious, you know, what do we do for, you know,
I don't know if that's
bills that have
finance or
gone to
management.
collections, or
You know, who knows the answer to that? Legal, finance, management? Sorry?
It's all in-house collections.
So, someone saw this on the agenda, an attorney, and sent it to me asking, or stating that he had done some stuff for the municipal court, and I was just wondering, have we ever used outside collection agencies, if that's the right word? We have not. Aaron, help us out. What do we know or don't know?
No, sir. I'm not aware that we have done that before.
So Craig raises a pretty
So-
good point. I mean, it's silly to not collect.
Right.
So I don't know what the right
So
procedure is.
currently,
go through.
my understanding is the only thing that's outstanding is about 60 days back on some ambulance billing, and that might have to do more with just some transition and employment and staff, things like that, on both our side and at the hospital. And so, with that being said, I think we're not that far behind, if you will, on that. So now that being said, a lot of municipalities do outsource especially their EMS billing, and some have found that has been that's been successful with some folks. So if that's something we need to look at, we certainly don't mind taking a look at that and just determining whether or not does it make sense to look at some things outsourced rather than in-house. And so let's say we're doing everything, we're getting it right. You know, there's 100%. We're not even 60 days behind. We're there. what if there are savings with mailing? What if there are what if they can do things more electronic rather than through mail? Are there just some things we need to look at? We certainly could do that.
I do know in the past, we looked at the EMS piece several years ago. And that well, every ambulance run, if they have Medicare, Medicaid, self-pay, whatever, this particular company would go chase those off an ambulance run, but that was the only thing that was discussed. I don't know why
Well, we could certainly put out
Can
some.
you remember what we didn't we talk? I know we talked about that once, because I know it sticks in my brain because of all the runs we were doing in West Odessa, and a lot of those people are uninsured
Yeah, so a few years ago, I'd probably say 4 or 5 years ago, we were looking at a company called Emergicon.
yeah.
And we presented that at the time, and we were not allowed to move forward at the time. We're doing that again today. We're looking at 2 different companies actually, comparing what they can do for us, what their charges are. But we believe if we can move forward with one of these companies, that we can actually bring in a lot more revenue than what we are doing.
Okay.
And we can not only bill for EMS, we can bill for the fire side as well, services. So
That's what I remembered. I thought it was a pretty good model, but I think
we
I might
met
have been
with
the only one. So I don't
we met with one of the companies last week,
Yeah,
in fact, or
good.
2 weeks ago, and well, actually, both of them. Right? We met with both of them. Or Chief Chavez met with one, and he and I both met with the other, and we're probably going to move forward with that here pretty quick.
Okay, look forward to it.
Yeah.
What about, I don't know who to ask, maybe Keith, I don't know, maybe David, like municipal court? I mean, who would we, I just wonder who's,
It'd be a
Aaron,
court-
who really,
it'd be a-
man, I know we hire
like
the
with-
judges, but we don't run the court.
Right, so the city manager side operates the administration side of the court, which of course is the folks that would do the receive funds, at the window when they come in and pay their ticket.
Right.
That's one thing that BNC doesn't do. That's basically the only thing they don't do right now is the court.
Gotcha.
So that's done there. Are there ways to, are there agencies? We actually have a relationship right now with one organization that, one law firm basically that does other municipalities around the state that do collection of like warrants and things like that. They send out, my understanding is they send out letters to collect things like that to get a resolution to those warrants. They can give last known address, for instance, to give to a warrant officer if we have one, that they could then go out and then serve those warrants to get a resolution. They send out, they'll do a warrant resolution every maybe quarter or something like that, where they say, okay, come on in and you're kind of a get out of jail free card if you come in right now and pay your warrants and things like that. So there are some entities out there that do that. We actually work with one now.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head who they're called though.
It's MBBA maybe?
Maybe that's it, sir.
Okay,
So-
just wanted to make sure we're doing best practices.
Just had I wanted to make sure I heard correctly. So in water billing,
That
all that, we don't have any delinquent accounts?
Oh, you've got delinquent accounts.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Maybe I misspoke. I'm sorry about that. But there's no, but that's where we're behind, if you will. But yeah, you're right. We've got delinquent accounts.
Okay.
We in fact, I don't know what the amount is there. And the court's got some delinquencies as well. So, yes, sir.
It's something to look into.
So if you want, we can do kind of a full maybe assessment of. I might have to work. Oh, well, I would definitely have to work with finance on that to kind of get an idea and B and C on what is outstanding. For instance, what is outstanding in B and C for water? What's been written off perhaps in the past?
Right.
What's owed currently? We could also do that for in the court. What are outstanding warrants? What is that amount? And so on and so forth. We could certainly work, I think, internally with finance to kind of get that information and maybe put that out maybe as part of maybe like a quarterly report or something like that with financial statements. Very good.
Yeah, it'd be good info, it'd be good, we need to have something so we can collect, or at least do our best efforts.
It gives you a good idea, for instance, of what's out there, right? And is there a better way to go through a different collection agency, for instance, to go get those rather than,
Or if we were collecting, now we wouldn't have to raise people's rates.
well, there's still,
we
that-
go that
maybe not as much, but
Maybe
there's still basically a $500 million worth of infrastructure under the
Yeah.
ground that needs to be taken care of, and we'll talk about Darrington at another time as well. So-
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Aaron. All right, anybody else have any questions? It's good stuff. Let's go to agenda item number 11. See it, click it, fix it, and utilization. Monica.
Hi, Mayor and Council. Good to see you guys. I'm going to pull this up for you because you're going to be able to see the statistics in real time. And Mr. Thompson, we're putting it up in real time, so it's so fluid. If we had sent it in on Thursday, it would have been quite a bit old. So let me pull that up. It's on our website.
Sorry, I couldn't find that in my packet. I'm looking all over it.
They sent this later. This came like in a separate email.
Well, you saw it on my emails. So I thought the order is.
You broke it.
Yeah, I broke it again. I'm electronically challenged.
Okay, so if you go to our website, and of course if you,
They keep promising monitors.
I'll leave it at that angle.
But they,
if you hover over government and transparency, and we're going to get to the transparency page in just a little bit, you click on the performance metrics dashboard tab, and this pops up. Now, sometimes it can be a little bit different than the app because I can see Craig comparing the two. Right now, when I pulled up my app, it showed that there's 1,267 closed. On here, 1,266. So sometimes it takes a few minutes to get it done. This was part of a team effort, though. Edgar did the ArcGIS live map for us to connect it. It's interactive, so that's a great thing about it. Say you want to see just what's closed, you can click on the green, and it pulls up what's closed. If you want to see what's been accepted, you can see that. Up there, you can see since June 25th, when we started this, we've had about 1,769 submissions, and we've completed a little bit over 1,200. So that's a 70% rate. I think it's really good. Of course, just like with anything, we've had some pain points along the way. Learning curve, that was probably one of the biggest ones. Something as simple sometimes as not to close out the top part. People would forget to do that. You have to close on the back end, the top and the bottom. So we've kind of worked through some of that stuff. Let me pull this up again. Wrong category submissions. You can see the second most requested. It's not listed on there, but it was just other general issues. It kind of became a catch-all for citizens. They would just put code enforcement issues in there instead of taking the time to keep going through the app and submitting it to the right place. And so what we've done is evaluated some of the categories. So again, this is fluid. We're only 3.5 months into it, but I have to say I'm really proud of our staff. 70% have been closed, and some of that has to do with different people have different interpretations of when to close those accounts. But moving forward, what we're going to do daily monitoring. We have a bigger team covering it now. We saw that it was just too much for one person, and we're going to do weekly reports for our directors and chiefs. So we're proud of what we've done. It's coming along. You know, we're not perfect. We had some bumps along the road, but everyone's doing a great job.
Okay.
Mr. Thompson, I know this is a question you're going to ask me about the marketing. We decided we're going to wait until 6 months to really hit it hard. We wanted to make sure that we worked out the kinks along the way. So that's when we'll be doing commercials, we'll do Facebook campaigns, that kind of stuff to really get the word out on it. I know, Mr. Stoker, you wanted to know some of the rates. So date to close right now on average is about 7.5 days. Again, that's subjective because some people close them out a lot longer depending on what their interpretation is of closing a ticket. And the date to acknowledge, it's about 3 days to acknowledge. I think a lot of that has to do with weekends. So, you know, by the time the weekend comes, sometimes that delays it a bit. Service level agreements, we're gonna place those at 6 months. Again, we just wanted everyone to get comfortable with it, and they seem to be understanding it a lot better.
Okay.
Monica.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think the type of request, those statistics, that's valuable to know. What are our problems? It's just a silly question, but under the type of request, you have 5 categories, but we have 10 bars. So how is that working to understand the data?
Right, so some of them, the second one underneath high weeds and grass, as well as illegal, so high weeds and grass is number 1, illegal dumping is number 3. And to give you a perspective on how great Naira and her team are doing, they have 14 code enforcement officers, as we've talked about. So they are being bombarded and continue to close out those tickets. That second one was that other general issues, we deactivated it. So that's some of what we're seeing. We have to update that because we're kind of changing some of the categories depending on what works and what doesn't work. We have 227 constituents that are signed up on the back end that are giving us tickets. And one of them was Beverly Forsyth. And she's been really great about making suggestions about categories. So again, it's really fluid. We're trying to see, does this work?
Yeah.
You know, when I turned off the other general issues, I put other in front of city management, so I was a bit concerned poor Dahlia was going to be bombarded. But nobody's done that. I guess they don't want to submit under city management's office, so then they go to code enforcement and do it properly.
Okay. Gentlemen, any questions?
I was curious, and I'm grateful for this. It's good to see the information. I've had lots of really positive feedback. People love the ability to interact. So when you say they're closed, is that like draw a line between closed or completed? Because I know I've got some that's been a frustration that we turn it in and then nothing ever happens.
Right. So I think sometimes we do have to come up with a more definite definition of what that means. Chief Gerke and I were talking about that earlier. For example, under the other general issues, we got a lot of noise complaints. And so I said, hey, what do you consider closed? Do you close it if you know you're going to go address it? Do you wait till you address it to close it? And in his case, he felt that it was best to address it and then close it, which may mean our length of time seems that we're taking longer. So it's that interpretation. I know we're going to have to really work to define that a little bit more because everyone has a different definition of that. But some of what happened, I think, was it was too much for one person, and so some of these were getting bottlenecked in general issues, and I think that's where some of the misunderstanding came from. Or people would close them, and not realize they have to close them. So there were still some questions on the back end with our directors, just kind of working through them.
But I would like part of that campaign to be, and this is how I've been explaining it, some of these are issues we can take care of, and some of them, like so many of the code enforcement things, that's not the city's job.
Yeah.
And so kind of explaining the difference in that. I know you had some code stuff out recently that did that, but Jesse, I think solid waste, y'all are my rock stars in this. Any of the bins I report, they've been done immediately, but then you turn around with high weeds and grass and it's like, well, it's not really the city's job to go out and mow. So.
And we gave them best practices, and that's one thing we said. If it's TxDOT, explain to them, hey, this is TxDOT. Here's someone you could contact if you want information. So those are some of the best practices we've recommended to folks.
Excuse me, could you please come to the podium, please? Thank you.
These old guys don't hear as well as I do. You got to talk up for them.
You can't hear me from right here.
So just for clarification, if it is a TxDOT issue, what we do, well, let me start from the beginning. We close out the cases when we go ahead and transfer the information from the C-Click Fix-It to MGO. You gotta understand, they don't talk to each other, MGO. So I have a clerk that enters all of that into the MGO system. That's where it's assigned to an officer. That's where it's a constant reminder, where the notices are printed, where reminders are sent out, where legal notices, where the PCs are prepared. So we close out, code enforcement closes those out once they're assigned to an officer and they are in the MGO system. So I have to take the information, reply, update, and then transfer all the information to MGO and assign to an officer. Once that happens, if we get one that, for example, is TxDOT, what we do is we notify them, we email them, we send them whatever information was sent to us through pictures, and then we follow up with an email. And our managers are the ones that are doing that, and we get confirmation from, I forget the gentleman's name who is our contact there. So that's what we do. Also, on where she removed the other complaints on this system, we went ahead and added new ones. For example, we added trees, shrubbery, and greenery. And so what happens with those, if they're in any way blocking traffic view, anything like that, those are immediately transferred over to our traffic engineering department. And we kind of make sure that those are followed through.
And parking.
And then,
Blocks, parking.
Yes, parking, all of those, we address those immediately. And so that's kind of how we're handling all of our complaints.
Gotta go. Okay, we appreciate it. We're kind of running low on time,
Yeah.
so we really appreciate that, though.
So-
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much.
Transparency page is up there too.
Okay.
Thanks, Tyra.
Good. All right, let's go to agenda item number 12, discuss quarterly review process. I don't know what this is.
It went kind of hand in hand about the transparency page.
Okay, well, good. Let's move on. Number 13, can we discuss board commission appointments? Anything you know, Norma?
Yes, real quickly, I invited Lane Young to come and discuss the Ector County Appraisal District Board of Directors that the city council will have to vote. It's a different process, so I invited him to come explain that process,
Okay.
and he'll do it quickly.
Yes. Okay, I've got a flyer here. This is on our website. If y'all want, I can hand these out to you.
Sure.
So basically, the election is from the taxing units this year. We did it last year, and what we have this year is 2 directors. Their term is expiring at the end of the year, so y'all need to nominate somebody by resolution. There's 2 that are vacant or that are going to be expiring this year. So this is a new process. It was created during the 88th legislation in 2023 by Senate Bill 2. So what it did, we had a 9-member board at the time, and we still have a 9-member board, but what it did was it brought on the tax assessor, the elected tax assessor, Lindy Wright, and then it gave us 3 appointed board of directors, which are appointed by the taxing units, 5 appointed directors, and then there's 3 elected directors. And so the way that they staggered it, the 2 have a 1-year term, and then when they're reelected, or if whoever's elected the next time, they'll have a 4-year term. And the process will begin again in 2027. So,
Okay.
but the elected people will be for next year.
What's the due date for that?
For the
For us to do
nominations,
resolution, yes.
by resolution, that is going to be October, well, tomorrow, for the nomination and resolution. If y'all need more time, that's fine.
October what?
The
Tomorrow.
15th.
Tomorrow.
This is the first I've heard of it, so, I mean,
How do you expect us to get it done?
I sent a letter to Mr. Vila, I guess, and also on September the 10th for the nomination
On the
and
letter, it
election
states
process.
December 14th.
So the nomination and election timeline, by October 15th, there's a nomination resolution. that needs to
But
be
they can
submitted.
pick from the names that are already,
Right, yeah, so by October the 13th, I have to provide the ballot to y'all, and then y'all elect. Y'all cast your votes by November the 15th, and I'll send you a resolution to,
so council can choose from the ballot names that he will provide to
but we
council.
can't take action at workshop, and it's not on the agenda for today. So we can't do it till we can't do it before the 28th.
the end of the month.
Yeah, because we already have our
That's-
agenda. You gotta post your agenda 3 working days.
Okay.
And we haven't posted it, which means the next time we can post it will be for the 28th meeting.
Okay,
So we're just gonna have to do it on the 28th.
that's fine.
Who are the 3 that expire?
There's 2 that are expiring, David Dunn and Mara Willis.
Okay. Yeah.
David Dunn is currently the vice chairman, and Mara Willis
Okay.
is I haven't been able to
We'll
get
work
ahold
on that for David, Aaron, y'all be sure to get that on the agenda for the 28th. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
I apologize, but
No, that's fine.
we didn't know, I mean, got our wires crossed a little.
Yes, sir.
Are we looking to put what you send us on the ballot, those who we're gonna vote for?
Yes, so there'll be 2 people y'all nominate.
Well, we'll nominate,
Or
so
we have to
October.
we
nominate
nominate, yeah.
off your list?
You nominate them, send them to me at the end of October, and then a couple days after that, I'll send you all the people that were nominated,
Okay.
and then you have to return and you have your votes. It's in the email as well. How many votes you can cast? It's 285 votes.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. We appreciate it. Agenda item 14, discuss workshop agenda items. I don't know who put that on the agenda. Anybody?
So that was future. I had asked, Mr. Stretcher and I had talked about what's the opportunity to add agenda items of the work session. Was that something we wanted to call for at the end of the meeting? You know, hey, next time I'd like to talk about the ECAD things, or just a way to get future agenda items discussed.
Workshop, so I think you just need to tell David and then what you want, and you need a second.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just
Whatever
need
you
two
want.
people to do it, yeah.
I mean, I think 3 working days, so the ASAP, I guess, would be the, you know, because you have to do it next Monday for the next, right.
Yeah, this 3 business days has caused,
Problem.
it's caused some issues. It was passed to be more transparent, but we can get them on. If you just tell us what you want, we can get them on. And if we need to streamline some kind of procedure, we can do that too.
My thought would be between this meeting and Friday, you need to present them to David or Aaron because they need them for next week to put on the next agenda to give proper notice. So I think keep that in mind. If we have something on your mind, let's do it between the workshop meeting and Friday.
Council, if y'all could please CC me on that as well, that would be very helpful.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Jim, let's go to agenda item number 15. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.101, City Council will hold an executive session, which is closed to the public, to discuss the following matters as permitted under the following sections of the Texas Government Code. A, Section 551.074, Personnel Matters. Deliberate the appointment, employment, and duties of the city attorney to be appointed by City Council. All right, Jim, we need a motion to go into executive session.
So move.
We have a motion by Councilman Thompson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cannell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're now in executive session at 4:17 PM. All right, need a motion to come out of executive
So moved.
session. Motion by Councilman Fidel, second by Councilman Haney. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're back in open session at 5:06 PM. No action was taken in executive session. Need to adjourn. Any motion?
So move.
Motion by Councilman Cannell, second by Councilman Haney. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.